All right. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It's October 25th. We are coming to you live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Hopefully, everyone's having a great Friday. It's another BizBuzz Live. Uh, Today, I think, is going to be an interesting one. We're on a couple platforms, right? We're on LinkedIn and YouTube, but let's talk about TikTok. And is TikTok a lucrative side business? Is that something that you should be paying attention to? I know Gary Vee told us to pay attention to it like 5 years ago, but if you pay attention to it now, could that be something that brings you in some money? Stick around on the show. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? We're back for another Friday BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, your financial coach, helping you get through all things financially. Always love having these conversations and jumping back on to talk about things related to money. Again, just to understand, if those of you are maybe first time seeing this, or you see it pop up on your LinkedIn but are really unsure kind of like what it is that we're talking about, or why you're seeing my face show up in your feed or in your notifications. It's because we want to have these conversations around money. We have lots of different ways to have conversations around money. Some of you might know my wife and I actually do a show called Money Mondays with the Muzans. That's over on Facebook. So LinkedIn, YouTube, you guys don't really get a chance to experience it as much. But we jump on Facebook just to talk about money, talk about the financial conversations that maybe people aren't having around all of the basics in finance. We're in a kind of talking about couples and money right now, but that's over on Facebook. And you catch me on other platforms where we start having the conversations, but specifically here on LinkedIn and YouTube, the reason why we started BizBuzz Live is so we could talk about specifically one area in our financial life, which is cash flow, right? Inevitably, when we start having these financial conversations, we talk about all things investments. It's funny that I'm even saying that. It's funny when I introduce myself to people and they ask me what I do, and they might be a little bit older, whatever the case is. And I tell them, in the financial services space, we do insurance on the insurance side. We also do some financial coaching and planning on that side. They always start talking about the market, right? People naturally just like, oh, the market this, the market that. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Not knowing that, I really don't have many concerns in the market. I'm not an advisor. I'm not trying to put your money into the market or look at your portfolio in that way. I'm really trying to look over some of the basics that no one's helping you with, right? And so whether we are talking investments or whether we're talking about budgeting or tracking or getting out of debt or figuring out your habits around saving, or making sure that you do have the right insurance protection in place, whatever the conversation is around money, it normally leads back to cash flow to some degree. It normally leads back to like what's coming in and what's going out. For those that are lucky enough to have a healthy cash flow, a healthy discretionary income, you got an extra $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month after paying bills, after spending, after all the stuff. You got extra money lying around, probably in a pretty good place. And then we can start having some different conversations around saving, investing, paying off debt, future goals, midterm investments, all those things. But most people don't have that, right? That extra $4,000 or $5,000 a month after paying everything. So inevitably it comes back to, well, how are we making money and where are we spending it? People don't like using the B word, budgeting, but most people need to be on some type of a budget to understand where their money is being spent. But then the other side of that is, how do we make more income? What if you're very frugal, you've cut your expenses down as low as they possibly can go. Now you're just basically working off of the necessities, maybe one or two things every month that you'd like to, experience or use your money towards, fine, but there's not an excess, there's not a ton left over. Then we got to start having the conversation around how we're making money. And what are the ways that we're bringing in income, and what are the industries that are out there to bring in income? And maybe you've been at a job for 15 years and now you realize that you need a switch, but you're scared, right? You're a little fearful. You don't really know what's on the other side of that, what other industries are hiring. So maybe you just try to stick with the same industry and do it in different facets and different formats because you think that's your skill set. Maybe some of you are full entrepreneurs. Maybe you have a small business. Maybe you run a bigger business. Maybe you're looking for other streams of income. Maybe you just have a part-time job and maybe you do a side business on the side. Like however you put together your cash flow picture, it's got to work for you. It's got to be able to have the horsepower to get you to some of your financial goals, right? The first step and the biggest driver in our financial picture is our ability to earn income, our ability to bring in money, not using the market to make us money, but our ability to earn. And so that's a lot of what this show is about, is just the ability to earn income and where are the areas that maybe you should be paying attention to. And so we've talked a lot about different things. We've talked about unions. We've talked about different types of industries. I've talked to you about the financial services industry and the insurance space. We've looked at nursing. We've looked at going to college. We've looked at all types of the trades. We've looked at all types of things, and we try to just stay on top of what is happening in culture and society. What are the main conversations? What's happening in tech? All the different areas. But there's some things that fly under the radar a bit that maybe don't get full news coverage, full PR kind of coverage where you're reading articles and headlines and looking at things like that. But there's some things that we know because I work with people that do this or have seen it or whatever the case is, that could make you some additional income. And today is one of those shows where I think some of you, it might be just kind of repeating what you already know. But for some, you might not even know that this is out there, or that people make money this way. So TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok. Talk about this platform, TikTok. Again, think of it what you may as far as from a social media perspective, whether it ruins our culture and our generations or whether it doesn't, or whatever your beliefs are. We're going to put those things to the side and we're just going to talk about the opportunity that's there for those that choose to take it. And is it lucrative? Is it a way for you to make some additional money, right? I have some statistics here, some general stats, that 11% of households in the US have made a purchase on the TikTok shop. So if you don't know what TikTok shop is like Amazon through TikTok. So it's all integrated on one platform. So you could be watching a post, you could be watching something where it has that linked to the TikTok shop. And so you can see your favorite creator, or it could be you, right, that has some type of product or something that's there, and then it's linked to the TikTok shop. So someone can see your post and then they can press the button and literally go buy that thing. That is the TikTok shop. I don't know if all of you know that you have that ability to have a product and have someone directly go and purchase it, and you receive some type of commissions off of that. Some stats say more than 80% of TikTok shop sales come from repeat customers. So again, once somebody buys it, they normally are that's one of the main ways that they're doing their shopping. And it says there's a total of about 265,000 different types of stores on TikTok shop. And the products, if those of you that want to know, again, a lot of this is women, right? But the top products are beauty and personal care, women's wear and underwear, food and beverage, home supplies, and then fashion accessories. All of those are like the top grossing products. $370 million in sales on beauty and personal care from the TikTok shop. So specifically from that store, from the TikTok shop, $370 million in sales. Women's wear and underwear is $285 million in sales. And then we drop down to 138 for food and beverage, 137 million for home supplies, and 97 million in fashion accessories. So you got to go where the money is. For those of you that are thinking about making money, well, if you added up all those numbers, you're probably sitting at $750 million in sales just on those 5 categories, all sold on one platform, which is TikTok. So TikTok Shop is one of the ways that someone can think about making money. There's also influencers, affiliate links. You can do live streaming on TikTok. It says over a quarter of the internet users watch live streams weekly. Over 8.5 billion hours of live streams were watched last quarter. So learning how to make money just turning on the camera and live streaming. Then there's the Creator Fund. The Creator Fund, it says the median salary for TikTok influencers is somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000. So imagine you got a full-time job, you got a career, but like you make an additional $20,000. You make an additional 25,000 a year, additional $2,000 a month. What could an additional $2,000 a month do for your family? I know a lot of times we think we got to start getting into the hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, but what if your family just had an extra $2,000 every single month? You think that would be beneficial? Do you think you could do some different things? Absolutely. And all of this stuff is happening over on TikTok. It's happening over on TikTok. Let me share something with you. Let me share something with you from some of these posts over on TikTok, just so you guys can get a little bit of an understanding of how people are making money over here, right?
At least one person in your household should be pursuing TikTok. I'm being 100% serious. I stay home with our daughter. I started posting in February consistently. Since then, I've made almost $80,000. Last month, I made $16,800. This month, it's the 16th of August. I'm at $9,800. Not to mention all the free stuff I get. And no, you don't have to pay taxes on them unless they're a certain amount of money, like $100 or more. We just bought a house. I made a video about how we just bought a new house and I'm going to have to get more stuff because it has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. I have had so many PR packages delivered to my house that I will not have to buy rugs, decor, bathroom sets, comforter sets, sheet sets. It did. Okay, I'm coming. This toy that my daughter's mad about, the doctor that broke, TikTok sent it to us. I don't have to buy my kid toys because we get it for free. I have 4 closets full of a wardrobe, all free from TikTok. Shoes, you name it, I've got it. I literally made a video complaining about something that I needed to buy because I knew someone would send it to me for free. It is life-changing. Get over the fact that someone's going to make fun of you in real life, because I promise you they will. But do you think anyone in my real life is making fun of me right now? No.
So this is one example of a lady that is encouraging you to start pursuing a career in TikTok. Start pursuing her message was someone in your household should be pursuing making money on TikTok. Doesn't have to be the whole family. For some of you that are 2-parent households, both parents are going out to work, cool. Maybe one of them stays home, one of them works, whatever the dynamics you have in your house. But someone, in her words, someone should be pursuing a career in TikTok, in posting. She gave you some numbers. And again, she could be exaggerating. That's all fine. It's okay, right? Like just knowing that there are people out there that are doing that means that you could also. And again, you bringing in an additional, in her case, right, $10,000, $19,000 in a month, that wouldn't be too bad. People sending you new stuff, that wouldn't be too bad. But you got to know that people are out there doing these types of things. Let me share another one with you really quickly.
I just had a video get 2.4 million views. Guess how much that made? Took me 5 minutes max of my time, I swear. 5 minutes to post it, to film it, to edit it, to upload it. Guess how much I made for 2.4 million views? $5,000. Post the TikTok.
$5,000 from this young lady, right? $5,000 for making a video. Got a couple million views on it. She's in that TikTok studio side, that creator side of things. Make $5,000 on a post. If you're not actively thinking about this as a way to bring yourself in some income, I'm just going to recommend that you probably start thinking about it. Probably start putting this in your wheelhouse instead of putting out so many resumes and all types of things that you got to do to go get a job. Like, maybe you should be thinking about this side. I remember I just listened to a comedian that was talking about the fact that Saturday Night Live, some of you might know this, Saturday Night Live just did a skit on like TikTok, basically, and recreating people that they see on TikTok. I think Keith Lee was in there, right? But just recreating it. And this commentary from this comedian said back in the day when he auditioned for Saturday Night Live, they were looking for celebrities impersonations, like movie stars, TV stars, celebrity impersonations, and then like people being able to make up their own characters. Now, in 2024, coming up on 2025, SNL is looking at TikTok. People have to make up and have impersonations of people that are common people like us on the internet. So people, everyday average people, can make it to mainstream, can make it to Saturday Night Live, can, right, make a presence for themselves, a name for themselves where people know of them and understand like that they're famous or whatever that they do. And you can do all of this stuff by spending a little bit extra time on a platform like TikTok, learning how to live stream, learning what TikTok Shop is, learning what the creator studio, the creator fund is, understanding how to monetize an audience. First, you build an audience, then you learn how to monetize the audience. And could this be the thing that brings you inside business money, a couple $1,000s a month, that eventually maybe turns into your full-time thing? Maybe you become a full-time creator. Here's an example of a guy. This is the last video I'll share with you. Here's an example of a guy that figured out a way to kind of hack the system, so to speak. Kind of hack the system when it comes to monetizing an audience. Pay attention.
Day in the life of a $30,000 a month TikTok clipper. So I fell asleep in my office last night because I was working so hard. And before I even got up off the couch, I got on my phone and got right to work. So the first thing I do is open up ChatGPT and ask it to generate me a horror story. Then I copy it and bring it over to 11labs.io to paste it in for my audio. Then I open up YouTube to screen record some Minecraft parkour gameplay for my background. After that, I open up CapCut to put the aspect ratio to TikTok, crop my Minecraft gameplay in the background, go to my files and add my 11 Labs audio, and then generate some auto captions and put it in the center. And it should turn out like this.
Something hard connected with my head, and I found my vision go dark and my mind blank.
I made $6,500 off one of these TikTok accounts, and I have 7 more. If you want to learn how to print off.
People are hacking this thing. People are figuring out exactly how to make money using TikTok. This is a guy that has faceless accounts. He just told you exactly what he did. He literally just gave you the blueprint. He said, I go to ChatGPT, have them create a horror story for me, a made up horror story. Then he goes into an app. He pastes the story in there that turns it into voice. Then he goes, some of you have seen these videos on TikTok or other platforms where it just has other footage playing in the background, video games, whatever it is that's playing in the background. And then there's a story overlay. He says he screenshots that, right? The loop of the video of the whatever's in the background, layers the audio over top of it, puts that out. He made $6,000 from that one video, and he said he has 7 of these accounts. Sure, he might have figured it out, but you can do the same thing. You can do the same exact thing. There's people making tons of money by whether it's just posting, whether it's getting creative and using AI and using things to be able to put out content. But at the end of the day, when there's a platform with 2 billion people a day that are using it, that are watching it, and you have an audience, You can learn how to monetize that audience. It might be a lot easier than YouTube. It might be a lot easier than Instagram. There might be some other ways you can go about it. But again, are you exploring these sides? Are you exploring this stuff? That's what's important. Are you exploring the fact that there's products being sold on TikTok? If you go on and you play around, this is going to be my recommendation for anyone that this message is resonating, or you're like, oh, I didn't know that, or maybe this could be something for me. I recommend, one, that you go spend 15, 20, 30 hours just understanding it. You see, part of learning how to make more money, learning how to earn more money, we have to use the same skills and the same things we've picked up from like school, but like doing it for ourselves. So where school might have told you what to study or what the course is, or right, what the curriculum is, those things. And then you start going through this process of reading and researching and writing papers and doing all that. Well, we can do that for ourselves, self-education. So if someone out there is like, Chris, I don't know anything about TikTok. Well, guess what? If you were in school and you didn't know anything about chemistry, what would they do? They would start you with lessons and you would read and pick up information. Same exact thing. You don't know anything about TikTok? Go to TikTok and explore it. Go read some articles about it. Go play around on the site. Go watch a tutorial on YouTube. Go watch 7 of them. Go watch the person that you know in your life that has TikTok and that is on it, and then go ask them for an hour worth of their time so you can sit down and learn exactly what the platform is used, what the buttons are, all the stuff. Like, actually educate yourself. We make money to the level of our skill sets. If you need to make more money, you might need to upgrade your skill set. You might not have ever learned TikTok, just like you didn't at one point didn't know how to drive and you learned how to drive, right? Just the exact same thing. If you're going to go make money and you're like, I don't know anything about this, well, let's go take 20, 30 hours to study. Let's go learn it. Let's go play around on it. Let's go get good with seeing some examples of success and what's happening. And that's how you would start your process. You want to figure out how to, how the TikTok shop works. Go on TikTok and like browse around the TikTok shop. You'll start seeing people pop up that are selling products. They got this like QVC, like if any of you remember QVC, they got this QVC like platform over there where there's just a lady standing there selling you a product like in an open like room. And then you can, if it takes 5 minutes to go over the product or 10 minutes and they demonstrate it and they wear it and they do all the stuff, and you can just press the button, go to the shop, buy it right away. They receive a commission for it. They go on to another product. What if that was you? What if you're good at that side? I know you've never tried it before, but what if you tried to do that? Could you be successful at it? Could it bring you in the side money that you need to improve your cash flow? Could it bring in the extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month that would change your financial situation? It could, but you got to give it a chance. You got to give it time. You got to learn how these platforms work. But I just gave you some things today, ladies and gentlemen, that if you dove into it, if you're just stuck and like, I don't know where to make money or how to make money, or I need to improve this, instead of changing your entire lifestyle or completely going off and trying a new industry, why don't you just try to like go where the money is? Like, do some things that you like. I was giving this advice to one of my coaching clients, older gentleman, right? Thinking about maybe not having enough for retirement or whatever the case is. And I was like, but what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like doing? And he was like, I like fishing. I was like, okay, well, if you get good at using a camera, if you get good at using your phone, maybe every time you go fishing, you just turn on the camera, you do some live streaming on TikTok. Before you know it, you got a little personality, you got a couple people asking you some questions, or you're making fun of some people or whatever, and you're building an audience. If you show up consistently, if you go fishing 5 times a week and that's what you like to do, then maybe if you just keep showing up consistently, they can follow your journey when you catch things, when you don't catch things, what it's like to get set up and go out on the boat. Again, you got a little personality on you, right? You make some jokes, people like you. Before you know it, Bass Pro Shop comes knocking and says, hey, we'll offer you, $1,000 a month or whatever the case is to continue to promote our products or continue to, do an ad for us or wear our merch or whatever it is. That could be it. And it could be from something that you like. This is counterintuitive to a lot of the generations that did not grow up knowing that you can monetize what you like doing. We are in, the millennials and beyond, the later millennials, or I guess younger millennials, because even some older ones don't get it. But the younger millennials into the right Gen X, Gen Z, or whatever it comes after, or no, Gen Z that comes after, a lot different than boomers, Gen X side, right? Where they didn't necessarily know that they could make money off of what they liked doing. It was like, pick these careers because these careers make you money. Now we're living in a time where like anything that you are or become or are excited about or are good at, like you can make money around it. And TikTok is one of those ways that's exploiting that for people, right? So if you want to take advantage of it, I highly recommend that you jump on these platforms and start to get knowledgeable, start studying, start learning exactly how to do it, and then start applying yourself. Figure out what it is you want to do, what you want to monetize, and then figure out a way to go make a couple extra $1,000s for you and your family, because it's possible. It just showed you all the ways that it is. So reach out if you got questions, y'all. This is what we do on BizBuzz Live here on LinkedIn and YouTube. Again, for you to dive in, ask some more questions about how to improve your cash flow, how to move the financial needle in your direction so that you can go off and design your ideal life. That's what this is. Money brings us options. The more money you have, the more options you have to have life exactly where you want it. So if you need some more options, you got to go make some more money. And normally that's changing your skill set, upgrading your skill set, improving something, making more money, or learning new things to make more money. I'm here to help. Enjoy your Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back next Friday. Man, it'll already be November. It'll be November next Friday. But we're coming right back. I'm going to make it happen here on BizBuzz Live. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Until next time. Peace. Take care.